Good morning, everyone. Oh, wow. All the things. On that, I'm going to start us off in a different way, and then I will start with my usual, how are we doing? I guess I'm feeling, like, period, full sentence, I'm feeling. And I think I just want to acknowledge where you may or may not be this week, whether you're confused, raging, heartbroken, numb, excited, feeling betrayed, any of those things in the middle. I've been reflecting a lot on what is going on locally, at the state level, federally, internationally, globally. And this week was very raw. And so I just want to wherever you are in that spectrum, and I know in this room we have all of those feels, and that's okay. I have many of those feels, both positives and negatives, if you want to put them into those camps. I don't know that I love that idea either, but that's fine. Yeah, I just want to say that. There's a lot going on in the world, and I want to be sensitive to the varying feels of all of those things.
Always make it the priority, and I'm supporting you, so just trust that. That we seek Jesus first.
Yeah.
Exactly. We seek
Yep.
Jesus first, and then be patient with what. If we believe that the Bible has any sense of timing, we know that if there's a return, if there is, I'm looking at you. If there's a return, that it does not come in times of peace or times of order. It comes in times of chaos and potential irrelevance. Yeah. This is the whatever you believe about administration and stuff. It's the master of distraction, and we just can't choose to be distracted.
Yeah.
Now we're going into.
And now we're going in. Yes.
Well, hold on.
Hold on.
I didn't get a chance to respond.
Well, you didn't raise your hand. I did. So.
You had your arm on my hand. I couldn't. You
I
held me
know.
down. You held
I
me
love
down.
holding
Wow,
hands.
he's claiming restraint. Oh boy.
Okay, so this has been a long time arriving. I got asked if it was a good week, and it wasn't necessarily a good week, but I've kind of been. I've got some things I got to do, some writing, and I've been holding off, and I don't know why. And it's to about 300 people that are invested in what I do and that kind of thing. And Thursday, was it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday night I went to the mailbox and I got a letter from the IRS. And I didn't want to open it. I don't expect good news from government agencies. And partly because my dad was a politician or worked for the government or whatever. And I'm going to say this clearly, Inner Anvil is fully restored.
Amen.
Oh, Kevin,
Fully
I'm so
restored.
glad.
So
Wow.
It was a good letter.
That's incredible. I'm so happy.
yeah, that was an interesting moment. You know,
How long did it take you to open it?
I walked inside my house, said hi to the people that were there, put the mail that they all got in their own little space, and we have a long driveway, and so I was like praying on the way back, like I don't know what to do with this. I don't know if I want to look at it now. I'm gonna face the music. Whatever's going to happen, God, you're going to take care of whatever's going to happen, and yada yada yada. And Arnold, there's your chocolate. Thank you. And your angel of mercy. And so anyway, so a few minutes later, I opened it up and was pleasantly surprised. Kept waiting for something, and you have to do this, or you have to do this, and you have to do this. So.
So good. You're next, Shane.
Well, thank you.
Pick Shane.
Yeah, pick me. So, I have the luxury of time at times. I mean, where I don't have to be anywhere, and so the the events that have unfolded this week have been fairly disturbing to me. If you're on my Facebook page, I mean, I just lashed out immediately as soon as I found something. And, you know, I felt some relief with that and had some good discussions. It was fun. I also have lots of friends on all sides, and then they, you know, I deliberately stay engaged because I think two reasons. One, we all have influence, and two, it does keep my brain sharp. But it is helpful, and I know Kevin has had some argument with me about this at other times, but one thing that does help me a lot is the Bible when it says, the truth will set you free. The truth is ascertainable. It's not like it is completely hidden. There is, you know, we have laws on the books, we have access to information, we can find out. If you're interested, you can actually find out what the truth is. And the truth does set you free. Now, it may set you free to be really pissed off, but it sets you free. And so that has kind of been, you know, y'all know I love ChatGPT, and I have it set to like, don't give me any bullshit. I just want to know what the real truth is. What's really going on here, and give me the sources. And that's really helped a lot. So, just something I'll share. Because I've been a little bit angry this week.
Yes.
We're doing my first basketball game is tomorrow.
I'm very excited.
Basketball? I didn't understand.
So the George boys are playing basketball tomorrow, and
I'm playing against Stephen's school.
Yep.
And Logan.
So there's this thing, the Adventist schools in the area have this, they call it ABL, so Adventist Basketball League, and they've got it's 1, 2, and then 3 to 5. I think grades 1 and 2, and then grades 3 to 5.
Yeah.
And so Levi and Elter get to play with Rivergate. Stephen is too old now, but he played with Meadowglade. Logan is starting now, so.
How fun.
I don't know, it's pretty cool.
Do they lower the basket down for the little ones?
They do, for first and second, they do. It's really cute. I can't wait. I mean, I've always been watching Steven at one end of the gym. He'll play on one end. And on the far end, they've got the nets lower at PAA. And it is the funniest thing to watch. Like all these little kids running after the ball together. It's gonna be great. So if you're bored on Sunday afternoons for the next 6 weeks, between 3 and 6, there'll be someone playing basketball in the PAA gym. Terry.
Including me.
Well, since I got through with my Christmas projects, I had this idea for a new game, and I've been building it, and I finished it yesterday.
Awesome.
All right. And it's a combination of a balancing Jenga and Lord knows what else. It can be played 2 ways. And anyway, so I'm happy because I wanted to get it done before I went to the beach next weekend. Because we got at least one smaller kid. The non-scoring way, you can just play it like you play Jenga. But it's a challenge, but it's fun. But it turned out well, and I'm pleased with it.
It looks very
We
well.
always see you.
I've seen a picture.
So we're gone next week, Casey.
Yeah, I put that on the prayer request side for safe travels for all of your family. Because how many of you? 20 plus, yeah?
20, well, at this point, it looks like 22 people.
22. Wow. Very cool. Yeah, every January long weekend they do this coast.
It's a family reunion thing.
Where are you guys going to be on the coast?
Seaside this year.
Okay.
That's what my hair is like.
Each year, there's different ones we go to, but
This year's Seaside one.
Seaside.
Kevin.
Yeah, my work is with suffering basically, you know, and supporting people's visions. And it's a very interesting weekend for me because 3 of the young men that you've seen perform here, Hiram is leading worship for the first time tomorrow at his church out in Scappoose or whatever. And, you know, he's like 19 years old, and he came to my house for a couple hours, and we shared some equipment, and, you know, got him situated, whatever. And
and I'll be going out there tomorrow. And then Micah and Zach are doing a vagabond time where they're just going and doing worship or playing wherever they're called. And they found they got a call down to Chico to go down and do a basketball weekend like you guys are talking about, but they're doing the worship for the Friday and Saturday, and it's probably Saturday night. So very cool in that framework. The other side so it's been awesome that I can invest in that. But the other thing today is one of my students, he about 10 years ago he came out to me that he was gay before he came out to his parents. And this year he invited me to, he said, "Can you help me do an album for my mom for Christmas?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely, love to," right? And so he came by the house and we did 10 songs, and he has a lovely voice, and Josh out in Estacada did some mixing and pitch correction. But today is the day that his mom is choosing to do assisted suicide. She has advanced Parkinson's, and that album that we did is her going away music into whatever is next. And so I reached out to him this morning and just said, I want you to know you're not alone. My heart aches for you. Whatever I can do to support you. And he says, we'll talk this week, But there's this gamut, right, of joy at people finding their purpose, and then heartache over loss. And his name is Chad. He's a great kid.
Shane, you're being sneaky. He's like raising his hand.
So Christy and Soren are gone. So there's two things. One, a prayer request. My son's in Junior Olympics this weekend. So he's fencing in Kansas City, Missouri. And
Fencing?
Fencing.
Fencing, yeah.
Yeah, they build fences. They get an hour and then how much fence they can build.
Yeah. And they use an interesting tool for that.
Yeah. It's a weird hammer.
Yeah. He's currently out of 362 national fencers. I think he's in his class of FA. He's 140th, so he's a little bit above middle of the road. And but he's breathing right now. He's probably doing a direct elimination, which may, if he gets to like 64th in the nation, I think he gets a B rating, or then qualifies for some other stuff. But all that just to be with him, and he's last weekend I wasn't here because my son decided to celebrate his birthday Saturday night with 5 of his friends, and we had an all-nighter on the boat, and that was interesting. It was not as good as I hoped, because one of the kids was just kind of crazy and plugged toilets and all kinds of stuff. But in the end, I did take them all out on the deck at midnight when it was very calm on the bridges, and it was just really cool to walk on the deck and take some pictures and stuff. And and he wanted that. I said, whatever you want to do. And they had a really good time. They got to bed at 6:30 in the morning and slept till about 10:30, and then got up and made noise till noon and then left. So it was quite an event. So I'm sorry I missed last week, but that's what I was doing. The second thing is that this time has been very interesting. I'm alone in the house, which I don't usually get that. And I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, I can set the temperature where I like it. So it's kind of, and I actually ended up being in the basement because I just fixed a fireplace down there, and it's really toasty warm, and I can watch movies and that kind of stuff. So anyway, but just, I have some time. And the final thing, prayer request, is tomorrow morning, early in the morning, my daughter and I are doing a carpool down to Mount Shasta to drop off a car that my daughter is selling to my mom at a good rate, so that they have a car. And so we're going to shuttle a car down, and then we're going to go for a hike around the lake and go out to eat and that kind of stuff. And just, the weather looks pretty good, but it could be a little dicey in the morning. Just prayer for the safe trip and everything works out, and just that, my daughter and I have a good time together. And then finally a praise, because boy, I'm very fortunate that my kids still like me. And yeah, they're great. And well, they're great. They're just great. And so I'm just really happy about that. That's one of the things that brings me a lot of joy in my life. Surprisingly, you know.
I wish you could all see these two sitting beside each other from my view. Very entertaining. They're like middle school boys.
Aren't all boys
Elbowing
middle
each
school
other.
boys?
Sorry, Steven. I'm the mother of a middle school boy, so I feel very educated on this.
Yeah, but you got the
I also
best
went through
haircut.
middle school.
You got the best haircut, dude.
He let me finally do the sides. I'm determined. So this is one of, I don't do New Year's resolutions because they never stick, but I make lists for myself because I'm type A list maker, and you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna learn to cut my own hair. Like, we've already conquered the sides, that's easy, but I am determined to figure out how to do the top myself this year.
Floppy.
Well, because I've accepted if I screw it up, I can shave my head. Like, I've done that.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I've. There you go. Said it out loud.
Fearless.
It's very low maintenance. His is more maintenance than me. Okay. We like you too. That's my really delayed response to your kids liking you. We like you too, Shane.
That's sweet. We'll see how the next sermon goes.
You know, I think we've proven you gotta do a lot to get kicked out. We haven't kicked anyone out yet. So.
I'm working on a real doozy, by the way. It's
Yeah. There you go. Y'all have been
it's
warned.
great. It's great what
Are
they're
you using the old prophets?
It's one of the oldest passages in the Bible I'm using, as far as chronologically written, and one of the newest ones, actually, and how they say almost the same thing.
There we go. What day are you preaching?
Oh, the key word is almost.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. Probably I can't next week, but maybe the week after that. We'll see. Whenever I get shoved in there, but it's going to be a good one, and I don't think too controversial. Not too controversial. Although the one God I'm bringing in, you may not know very well. But anyway, that's.
Oh wow. Any other prayer requests, praises, anything like that?
I had one, but I lost it already.
All right, well, you got some time. Ben's gonna, so you come back with it. Ben.
Oh, I don't even know where to start. I am very grateful this week. I got a chance to go down and surprise Nadia at school this week at her chapel where she was playing bass. And she started a new school, for those who don't know, down in Eugene, so she's no longer commuting to and from Salem. And trying to figure out how to, we're trying to figure out how to like maintain a presence because she's not up every week. And you know, last year and the year before at Livingston, when I tried to engage with some of those things, it was very much like, this is my space, Dad. Don't intrude. But I got an invite, and I figured, well, I better show up. So it was good. It was fun, and a lot of kids that are just excited about Jesus, which, yeah,
That's cool.
that was really uplifting to get to be a part of it. So I'm excited for what the rest of this year brings.
Arnold?
Can't remember.
Okay. I love that.
Well, let's pray for his memory.
Ow.
What? Let's start there. Work our way in. Yeah.
Charlie?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this group. Thank you for laughter. Thank you for antics. Thank you for relationships and friendships and a safe space where we can just be human together. Thank you for being what grounds us and gives us hope and a future. Thank you for the lessons on love that you lived out for us, and that we can look to those as we navigate life here. And thank you for the opportunities that you put in our paths to be love in a world that sometimes feels really unloving. Thank you for the opportunities that we have to travel and to connect with family, whether that's while doing jobs like delivering a car or showing up to help or showing up to support or to play basketball. Thank you for surprises along the way. Thank you for middle school boys. whether they're literal or were there 40 years ago or more. I know seeking joy is something that I have talked about, well, I guess it's been a while now since COVID land, but thank you for putting those moments out there for us, and for giving us peace in, it sounds so cliche, but in such stormy times. Be with. I want to pray specifically for Shane as he and his daughter drive to Shasta tomorrow. Be with Christy and Soren in Kansas City. Be with Micah and Zach as they're either headed to or already in Chico. Be with Hiram as he leads tomorrow. It's so exciting to hear that. Give him courage, and we know he will do a great job. We think of Chad and the journey he is on with his family, and the loss of his mom. With Kevin as he supports them, and fill in the spaces of unknown with comfort and care. With Terry and Bunny and their family as they gather next week at the coast. Give them safety in travel, help them enjoy their time with their family. I know they do this every year, and it's so cool knowing the demands of life to get that many people together. Be with them. We are so thankful for Inner Anvil. Using Kevin's words, being fully restored. We've been praying for this for months and months and months. Thank you for giving Kevin that gift, which hopefully can give him some clarity on moving forward with Inner Anvil. And I'm sure I'm missing other things, but thank you for being a God who hears us, who walks alongside us, and is here with us today. Bless our time together, whether we're singing, listening, speaking, asking questions. We love you so very much. Amen. You remembered. Oh, no. Okay. We will put him on the list. Jason. That's rough. So planned.
All right, you guys. Kids, can we get some help
I hear you picked
with
some
songs? Hey. Do some high and wide action.
Come on, Ashley. Go get a shaker.
Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Wide and deep, there's a fountain flowing wide and deep. Wide and deep,
dude gave us that.
Okay, this one requires a lot of motions. You guys think you're up for that? Blind man. The blind man stood by the road and he cried. The blind man stood by the road and he cried. The blind man stood by the road and he cried. He cried, oh, show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. And the way to go home. The rich man stood by the road and he cried. The rich man stood by the road and he cried. The rich man stood by the road and he cried. He cried, oh, show me the truth. Show me the truth. Show me the truth and the way to go home. Lazarus stood by the road and he cried. Lazarus stood by the road and he cried. Lazarus stood by the road and he cried. He cried, oh, show me the light. Show me the light. Show me the light and the way to go home. Jesus stood by the road and he cried. Jesus stood by the road and he cried. Jesus stood by the road and he cried. He cried, oh, I am the way. I am the truth. I am the light and the way to go home. Thank you. All right, you guys can go back to your seats. Let's see. Gotta get this in the right order. Yeah, we would have a list.
Yeah, precisely.
David, do you still have our crayon?
Is it our salvation next? You said it. I was thinking it.
Father of lights, you delight in your children. Father of lights, you delight in your children. For every good and perfect gift, it comes from you. For every good and perfect gift, it comes from you. For every good and perfect gift, it comes from you. Father of light. it comes from you. For every good and perfect gift, it comes from you. For every good and perfect gift, it comes from you. Father of lights. Father of light. Take it away. Salvation is bound up together. Our salvation is bound up together. Our salvation is bound up together as we walk through this wilderness. When one suffers, we feel it together. When one suffers, we feel it together. When one suffers, we feel it together as we walk through this wilderness. No man, no woman can walk this road alone. Bind us together, oh Lord. No man, no woman can walk this road alone. Bind us together, oh Lord. In our laughter, we share joy together. In our laughter, we share joy together. In our laughter, we share joy together as we walk through this wilderness. No man, no woman can walk this road alone. Bind us together, oh Lord. No man, no woman can walk this road alone. Bind us together, oh Lord. No man, no woman can walk this road alone. Bind us together, oh Lord. No man, no woman can walk this road alone. Bind us together, oh Lord. Our salvation is bound up together. Our salvation is bound up together. Our salvation is bound up together as we walk through this wilderness. Yes, I was just thinking about that. Take these hands. I know they're empty, but with you they can be used for beauty in your perfect plan. All I am is yours. Take these feet. I know they stumble, but you use the weak. You use the humble, so please use me. All I am is yours. I give you all my life. I'm letting it go, a living sacrifice. No longer my own. All I am is yours. All I am is yours. Take this heart, set it on fire, shine it in the dark. I want to tell the world of who you are. All I am is yours. I give you all my life. I'm letting it go, a living sacrifice. No longer my own. All I am is yours. All I am is yours. I give you everything. To you I belong. Every beat of my heart, the breath in my lungs. All I am is yours. All I am is yours. I lift my hands up, God, I surrender all that I have for your glory, your honor, your faith. I lift my hands up, God, I surrender to you. I give you all my life. I'm letting it go, a living sacrifice. No longer my own. All I am is yours. All I am is yours. I give you everything. To you I belong. Every beat of my heart, the breath in my lungs. All I am is yours. All I am is yours. I give you everything. To you I belong. Every beat of my heart, the breath in my lungs. All I am is yours. All I am is yours. I give you everything. To you I belong. Every beat of my heart, the breath in my lungs. All I am is yours. All I am is yours. And because Christmas has been lingering a little bit this year, I'm just going to keep Christmas in our hearts a little bit longer.
Chris can still wear it. It's fair game.
And I was being attacked by the tree earlier, so.
It might not think of that. It thinks you left it.
Maybe a little bit. Bring a torch, Jeanette Isabella. Bring a torch to the cradle run. It is Jesus, good folk of the village. Christ is born, and Mary's calling. Beautiful is the mother beautiful is her son. Hasten now, good folk of the village. Hasten now, the Christ child to see. You will find him asleep in the manger. Quietly come and whisper softly, hush, hush. See how the child he slumbers, hush, hush. Peacefully now he sleeps. Softly now unto the stable, softly for a moment come. Look and see how charming is Jesus, how he is white, his cheeks are rosy. Hush, hush, see how the child is sleeping. Hush, hush, see how he smiles in his dreams. Bring a torch, Jeanette, Isabella. Bring a torch, come swiftly and run. Christ is born, tell the folk of the village. Jesus is sleeping in his cradle. Ah, beautiful is the mother. Ah, beautiful is her son. Ah, beautiful is the mother. Ah, beautiful is her son. Unstable, come. No, you are not alone. Oh, come, barren and waiting ones, weary of praying, come, see what your God has done. Christ is born, Christ is born, Christ is born for you. Oh, come, bitter and broken, come, with tears unspoken, come, taste what is perfect love. see what your God has done. Christ is born. Christ is born. Christ is born for you. Christ is born. Christ is born. Christ is born for you. He's the Lamb who was given, slain for our pardon. His promise is peace for those who believe. He's the Lamb who was given, slain for our pardon. His promise is peace for those who believe. So come, though you have nothing, come. He is the offering. Come, see what your God has done. Christ is born. Christ is born. Christ is born for you. Christ is born. Christ is born. Christ is born for you. Christ is born. Christ is born. Christ is born for you. Christ is born. Christ is born. Christ is born for you.
Dear Lord, we just ask your peace into our lives and into our hearts. And Lord, I just pray that you would there's just a lot. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in each of our individual lives. I pray that you would just help us to show up for each other and with kindness and love. And to remember that when one person suffers, we collectively suffer. It hurts everyone. We're connected through suffering, Lord. We feel it in our spirit when we see injustice that happens in the world, when our loved ones around us are hurting, people we don't know are hurting. It affects us. And we pray that you would come into that suffering, Lord. Help us to hold space and care for each other and to just remember that you were in the suffering with us. Be with David as he shares with us today. Amen.
Oh, don't do that to me. Of all topics, what have I done to myself? Is this thing... I've heard of them. Oh. So, a theme that we're going into for our next, it's not we're all talking about sin. One person suggested that maybe the theme for our next set of sermons would be something that challenges you. If that's the case, this has certainly been a challenge. You ever have one of those emails that you send and then you're like 10 minutes later, I shouldn't have sent that? Yeah, this will be one of those. No, it wasn't sent to you. No, but the minor prophets are one of those sections that I avoid. And I am reminded as to why I avoid them. I am not a poet. I don't understand poetry. And many a theologian that I read on this week suggested that the minor prophets speak in poetry. But with that, we think of this general topic of sin. And it's one that I think we avoid a lot because it is deeply personal. We have the goodies but oldies. When I'm talked, I remember when I was a student missionary in South America, and people just wanted to know, what should I be eating and not eating and doing and these things. And I'm like, you know what? I am no theologian, but I know the verses that we go and talk about when we these things, and I'll let God guide you. And so, when we look at those that we usually think of, some come to mind. But before we get into that, I want to ask just a general question. When we think about sin in the Bible, and especially as you reflect in your own life, what are maybe two things? If we could just hear from two people, so not everyone, just two people, what's something that comes to mind when we think about sin in the Bible? Okay, Eve. Excellent. One more. Stephen. Huh? Moses. Okay. Moses is an interesting topic, but I'm curious if you can narrow that down a little bit. Eve, I think I can guess, but Moses, what part of Moses' life? Okay. Moses has a lot of times that we can pull from because we have a lot about his life. But yes, disobedience when God gave him a direct command. Those weren't ones that I thought of. And I find it interesting that as we think about the Bible, each one of us, I think, will jump to different stories and different things. The one that comes to my mind, first and foremost, is when a certain woman was called out in Israel and brought before Jesus. And Jesus says, "Neither do I condemn you." Because I think when it comes to the topic of sin, we don't really have the right to be judge, jury, or executioner. So let's dive into that a little bit more. So some of the verses that we think of when we talk about sin is Exodus 20. So Chris, I'm sorry, you're going to have to be doing a bunch of jumping around, but so it goes. 10 Commandments, we know them. We've learned them by heart probably. Lord God spoke all these words. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. 1, you shall not make yourselves any image in the form of anything in heaven above, the earth below, or the waters beneath. You shall not bow down and worship them, for I am the Lord your God. I am a jealous God, and will punish people. I'm going to read off of my tablet because I can't bend my neck that direction. Okay. So, God is looking for our undying devotion and our worship. It says, I am the sovereign Lord. Second one, don't misuse the Lord your God's name. Don't take it in vain. So watch what you say with your tongue. Don't swear by God. Third one, as Adventists, we love this one. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work. 7th day is the Sabbath day of the Lord your God. Don't do any work on it. You and your sons, daughters, neighbor that's in your gate, livestock, and it goes on. I don't mean disrespect to the verse, but we do a lot of griping about this one. Children have feared this verse, and adults have feared it alike. Just wanting to know that they're a good person. These first three talk about the sovereignty of God and what we do to worship. Moving on. Honor your father and mother so you may live long in the land the Lord your God gives you. Interesting verse, tucked right in the middle of all these things. Honoring father and mother comes with a promise. You'll live long in the land that God gave you. Interesting. Moving on. These are more against as we relate to other people. Don't murder, don't commit adultery, don't steal, don't bear false witness against your neighbor, and don't covet anything that isn't yours, specifically your neighbor's. Doesn't say anything about enemies, but we assume it talks about enemies as well. Don't take things that aren't yours. So, how many of us have ventured over into Proverbs and looked at the short list there? There are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable. Haughty eyes. Again, I'm not a poet. What in the world is haughty? Okay. A lying tongue. Hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that devises wicked schemes. Feet that are quick to rush into evil. A false witness who pours out lies. A person who stirs up conflict in the community. It's an interesting list. It kind of seems that way, but maybe we've progressed a few hundred years. We didn't have to go from the child, your toddler stage of humanity to now we're maybe at a corporate or a more group stage. But I want to suggest that there are kind of 3 categories of sins that are being explored here. There's the personal sins. One person against another. Decisions that I might make. Then there are religious sins. Sins of a community. Sins of religious leaders. Things that I think about as well. And then there's corporate sins. Sins of those who have power over others. Whether that be companies, lands, a large family, maybe like Abraham, moving from one location to another with all of his household, or nations. These are the sins that I think about when we look at the minor prophets, who are speaking out against nations, against people. And because I am a simple person, and one YouTube person said that I believe it was, is it Hosea? He's a simple dude. I like him. I can understand him. And this is where we're going to have to turn to the screen a little bit. And I don't want to read it all because it's going to be horrifying for me and others. But we will summarize some of the things that are going on and spoken out against. We have, Amos, there it is. So there were specific communities listed, and there were certain judgments that were going to be pronounced upon them. But what got me is the repetitive poetry of it, going into it. There are 3 things that the Lord won't forget and 4 that are something like that. But in each repetitive one, as it goes to the different nations, it starts to pick out the different sins of the nations. And some of those were, they took captive whole communities and sold them to someone else. It speaks out against slavery. Others took communities and sold them as captives to Edom. Others pursued their brothers with swords, slaughtered women, or were just tyrants lashing out in fury. Others came in and hurt pregnant women to extend their borders. These are things that we think of that kings and leaders potentially do that are called out. Again, as Erin tipped me off, as she so lovingly does, that I should look at the news from week to week. I think I might have even sent this in before. I learned about the happenings of this week. It's just made me think that, if this book was written today, what would it say? So then the third category, religious sins, Amos goes into talking about Judah, rejected the law of the Lord, didn't keep his decrees, led astray into false gods, and the punishment came from God. Israel, they sold innocent people for silver, poor people for a pair of sandals, oppressed the poor, social sins, stealing goods to become drunk by them. Sounds familiar. In its own weird way, I look at this as well and struggle with what my duty is to society. Oh, thank you. I should just bring these up here. I don't make it through a week without this. Yeah, I really do. It's for your benefit, not mine. Oh, man. Thank you. So as we think of this, I guess I come back around to I'm very much a pacifist. I don't like to get involved in conflict. And I really, really like the verses where God just takes care of things. I skipped over those minor prophets where they went in and basically did whole decimation of communities, of genocide to take back their lands. I don't know what to say about those. But I'm reminded that even King David as a ruler, he had some words to say when Nathan came to him. And we'll find those in Psalms 51. And it says, "Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love. According to your great compassion, blot out my transgressions. Wash away my iniquities and cleanse me from sin. For I know that my transgression and my sin is always before me. Against you, only you, have I sinned and done what is evil in your sight. So you are right in your verdict and justified when you judge. Surely I was sinful at birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me. Yet you desired faithfulness, even in the womb. You taught me wisdom in that secret place. Cleanse me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow. I particularly chose this because it seems like this was written right after Nathan came in and called him out. And it was a beautiful time because amongst all of David's faults, he still constantly sought a good relationship with God. So, why do we look at sin? Why do we make such a big deal about it? To me, the personal sins, the ones that are between us, God, others in our lives, when we look at those and strive to live without those sins, we live a happier life. It increases and restores our relationship with God and with others around us. Religious sins, again, I think God calls us out on those when they're done, but we just humbly pray that God will lead and be the head of the church in our worship. And we avoid oppression. Corporate sins, we recognize God, the hand of God at work, and as a warning to those in power to make wise decisions. There are other conclusions that could be brought out of this, but maybe I feel they're too bold or they didn't have time to refine them articulately. But to me, it's a reminder to do what's right, to lead as God leads us, go as God leads us, and to be aware that we can lift each other up. I want to finish with a final psalm, and then if we dare, we can bring it up to comment. I think it's Psalm 23. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pasture. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul and guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." Thank you for sharing this time with me. Desmond.
The part that I thought about was when we were talking about how they sold things, paracetamol and whatnot. And I don't know if any of you watched the Song of Silence about that guy who went in and saved those girls from human trafficking. But I'm looking back on this because back home right now in Hawaii, we have a school for Hawaiians called Commandment Schools. And we have been under so much prejudice of our admission policy, which is written in the will of the founder of that school, that the school is for Hawaiians, by Hawaiians, for the children of Hawaii, of Hawaiian descent. Right now, we settled out of court for $7 million with a lady whose son couldn't get in to go. It's a long backstory, but right now we're under racial prejudice from a company in Virginia that has absolutely nothing to do with it, right? And, you know, there's a whole thing about Captain Cook, Discovery of America, this whole immigration thing. And the power, the control, the greed, the wanting to, right, out of guilt, shame, misery, whatever. It's how much more are we going to destroy others because of our guilt, because we can't come up and face it and say, I messed up, I'm sorry, what can we do to repair this? Instead, we bully our way through narcissistic bullying ways and then play the victim when we don't get our way. And going through all of this, even when I was in the process of doing what I did, I knew it was wrong, right? So when Paul writes, why is it that I do that I should not do, yet I do not do that which I should? Though it is the sin in me and I'm not of my right mind, I still need to pay the price for that. But how much more are we going to do this before we allow our conscience to truly be our guide, right? Jonah out of fear, Job out of righteousness, Moses out of disobedience, David out of arrogance, right? And in the end, somehow they turned, because now at going on 58 next month, I'm looking back on my life, and it's, how much regret do I have for it? Yet, I need to remember a saying that I heard, which was, your rear view mirror and your rear window is so much smaller than your front windshield. Because we need to continue to be mindful and conscious of being in the present moment. And this morning, walking here, all I heard was, you need to start dressing better, holding yourself better, living above reproach, and not forcing my situation and oozing that out of, okay, so I was this, so I am currently this. But do I need to keep projecting that out so that other people know? Or can I truly, through humility, hold my head high, move forward, and continuously remember that I am that favorite generation and that chosen race and that favorite child? Last week I shared, right? Am I pleasing God or am I pleasing man? And it's hard to hear that this is my son with whom I'm well pleased, and I can feel your sadness. I can sense your, I feel your sympathy towards it, but it's...
One of the things that I didn't really get to, and Kevin will come back around, that was really interesting as I read through a couple of the minor prophets, and that is, there's usually a three-part kind of theme to them. There's the calling out the sins. There's the judgment from the Lord. This is the evil thing that's going to happen to you because of it. And then there's that point towards restoration, towards hope, to the future, usually pointing back to the promise of a Messiah. And I think that's, especially as we look at the nations, and we look at on the personal level, it points to Jesus. On the religious level, it points to God restoring. And on the corporate, the nation level, it again points to that future of restoration. So, Kevin.
One of the things that you brought to mind was the idea that the sins that you put on the wall were all action-oriented, right? And that's an easy thing for us to do and say this action, according to the biblical model, breaks relationship with who God has called us to be, right? And I love the idea that the only purpose to call out sin is not for the sake of calling out sin, but so that transformation, typically within to without, shapes the world we live in, right? But that's not, most of us growing up and thinking about sin, we don't think of it as restorative. We think of it as judgment.
You'll notice that I did, well, I kind of went there.
You almost went into Hosea, and I was going to get real excited. But
I believe me, that was the first book I read. Now,
it's kind of R-rated.
You probably noticed I skipped over a few verses as well. Yeah, but you've heard me say this before. I guess my focus isn't on the judgment because I have faith in the judge. But many people are very, very afraid of the judgment.
Psalms 51. Covered a lot of territory today.
Whew, yeah. And I did it in under an hour.
There's this little bit there that really stood out to me as I was skimming the chapter while you were talking. 16 and 17. You're not pleased by sacrifices, otherwise I would give them. You don't want burnt offerings.
Mm-hmm.
The sacrifice God wants is a willing spirit. God will not reject a heart that has been broken. Sorry, the word said. The first bit of that verse there really is kind of what I've been sitting back here chewing on, because it isn't. I like the phrasing that you implied. It breaks a relationship, whereas grace is restorative. That piece, sin is the separation from God. And what God desires isn't grand overtures, isn't big things. It's a willing heart, a willing spirit. And that's the piece. For me right now.
Sure.
Sorry, I've been reading a lot about trauma. And what I've come to realize is that sin is personal, spiritual trauma. And trauma is what we use. We learn how to interact with the world in our traumatized state, and we think that's the way. But God is calling us to something else. They call it there's the kind of the wounded child, and then there's the wise adult, right? But so many of us, without dealing with the trauma of our sin, we live in the world as a wounded child. But as Christ transforms us, we then, the calling out of sin and recognizing it in the transformative process, then we get to live in the world as a wise adult, which is not reactionary. It's compassionate. It's not black and white. It's not rigid. Those are differentiations that we're called into. But who leads the way except for Jesus, right? So anyway, you stirred the pot today, David.
There was one commentary that pointed towards the minor prophets and talking about how these judgments from God usually came about because of idolatry and the nation going in and worshiping other gods, and what established itself as idolatry and these sins. And I remember listening to stories as a kid from missionaries who talk about native people and how they liked eating their pork because we're just picking on that one. But the reason behind it may have been interesting, because in the thing that was cited, they said, we know this is an action that we wouldn't do if we were worshiping your God. Therefore, we choose to worship our God because it's allowed. And whatever that action may be, to me, that's kind of the definition of idolatry, is we have an action that we want to do. So therefore, we justify and put our faith and worship and whatever in something that is not God so that we can justify doing that action.
My personal definition of idolatry is putting something or allowing something to be between you and God, or you're putting something above God. So not necessarily like, oh, there's some action I want to take that God isn't letting me do, so then I'm going to either worship something else or you know, so in whatever way turn away from God into something else, just so I could do an action, but that like you are allowing something to come between you and God, or you're allowing something to take priority in your mind and in your life and in your heart over God, priority over God. So that's just my personal way that I think that.
On that same theme, sometimes I think we either worship God or we worship ourselves. Whatever I choose to place over, that's me. That's my authority, which I don't have anything. It doesn't get too complicated.
Sure.
Well, and that doesn't. I'm gonna.
Can you educate a little on what the difference of the major versus the minor prophets are? Because all I've ever heard were all about these minor prophets. So, I mean...
Unfortunately, the simple answer is... Okay. The simple answer is no. I can't.
But the second part to that is, I want to take a moment and thank you for this today. Because you and I have had several conversations on this, right? And the one thing that we tend to forget is, regardless of it all, it's God's will in our lives if we allow Him to work, right? So there's God's will, there's human nature, and there's the one down there that likes to take over. So
yeah,
it's, do we blame God, do we blame Satan, or do we blame ourselves and take responsibility and accountability and have that consciousness of being aware? You know, and it's hard because none of us are perfect, but I'm tired of going home and regretting things and looking at my life and going, what can I do better? But not being so hard on myself like we discussed the other day. You know, so.
Thank you, Desmond. Andrea, last comment?
No. Well,
You have to talk on
I
stage.
rarely say no to
I know, so you've got it.
I think it was just in response to what Kevin was saying, just that like worshiping yourself or putting yourself above God, whatever, isn't even necessarily like it isn't always like, oh, there's something I want to do, and so I'm gonna do that or prioritize that, or there's something in my life that I want and I desire, so I'm gonna prioritize those things. So I'm prioritizing myself. I'm worshiping myself. I'm so great. It can also be, and often is, like, I want to feel bad about this. I feel that I deserve this suffering, and I will not allow myself to be forgiven. I don't want God to take this away from me because I feel like, no, I should be feeling this way. No, I should be going through this. Or like, no, this thing, you know, it can also be this negative thing. It's not necessarily like a more positive I want, but also can be this like very self-destructive, like, no, I don't want to allow God to help with this. I don't want this to be healed. I don't want this to be helped.
I deserve this.
There's something satisfying about sitting in your festering, like letting your wounds fester and having, you know, a lot that you're like, I don't know, it's gonna hurt to wash this and heal this, and it's hard to be a good person. It's hard to do this thing. I don't want to do this thing. It's hard. You know, I'd rather sit and be miserable, and at least I don't have to do anything to be miserable. Doesn't ask anything of me.
Right.
I'm just sitting here, you know. So there, it can also, just acknowledging that it, because I decided to share a college experience.
Well, thank you all for journeying down this with me. I think we may continue and in future conversations as well. Have a happy Sunday.